welcome to episode 31 of Tales of Yarnia. My name is Hannah. I'm coming to you from Cheltenham in the UK, which is where I live with my other half Jimmy and our yellow Labrador Jonah. We have got a lot to cover today. I'm just going to say that straight off. I have no idea how long this episode is going to be. But we've got quite a few things to talk about. It's been a couple of weeks since I last saw you. Since then I've had a birthday. I travelled up to Manchester to go and visit my family, and we went to go and see a show. We went to see Les Mis at the Palace Theatre, which was really, really lovely. And we also went out for a meal. It was just me, my mum and my sister, so that was just a really, really lovely day. And yeah, we just had quite a chilled day on my actual birthday. I came back to Cheltenham for my birthday and just spent it with Jimmy and Jonah, and just basically had a day of crafting and doing all of the fun things. So it was really, really lovely. And spring has officially sprung here. It is officially spring, and it's just such a beautiful day today. It's so sunny, and the trees are starting to blossom, and the little flowers are starting to emerge. And I've also been over the last couple of days been trying to sort of tidy up the garden, and we've planted a couple of new things just to fill big gaps that needed filling. And yeah, it's really, really fun to see the garden coming back to life. So yeah, it's just really, really nice and springy here at the moment. So just a little update on the garden. Jonah has been for his WALK this morning, and he's currently just lying in a patch of sun that's just by my feet to the side here. So I think he's hopefully just going to sleep through this episode. Yeah, he's got his head in the sun and he's just lying flat out, so he's nice and comfortable, and he's lying on my feet, so I'm not going anywhere. Right, so, oh yes, social media wise, you'll find me as Yarnia Designs on Instagram and Ravelry, and you can also find my knitting patterns on Ravelry under Yarnia Designs, and I'll include links to all of that just in the down bar, and everything else that I talk about will be down there as well. So, first things first, we've got a giveaway to announce the winner of. So last episode, I announced we were doing a giveaway to celebrate reaching 1,000 subscribers on the podcast, which is just amazing and so exciting that we're sort of forming this little community, and we can all sort of discuss what we're knitting, and I just love hearing what other people are knitting and getting to show you what I'm making as well. So yeah, it's really, really fun. Anyway, the prize, I think I did show you last time. The prize is this gorgeous sock set from Lay Family Yarn, and lovely Kelly was so generous to donate this to the podcast to use in a giveaway. So this is the Buttercup sock set, and it's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and you get the 100 gram main colourway and then a little 20 gram mini. It's just gorgeous. I absolutely love Lay Family Yarn's colourways. The speckles that they do, they're just so gentle and dreamy. Love it. Anyway, the winner of this, I've locked the giveaway thread, and I've just drawn for a winner on random.org, and the winner was post number 39, who is Stormy Sky, and that is Amanda. So congratulations, Amanda. If you get in touch with me, either message me on Instagram or on Ravelry, and let me know your mailing address, I will get your prize sent out to you. So thank you so much, everyone who entered the giveaway. It was so lovely to sort of read all of your entries. I think the prompt that I did was to recommend, or people to just sort of talk about things that they've been enjoying watching, reading, listening to. So if you go into that thread, you can get loads of recommendations on podcasts to watch, TV shows, films, books to read, audio books, audio podcasts. Yeah, so that's quite a good resource if you're stuck for something to watch or read or listen to. You can go have a look in there. So yeah, that was really, really fun, and I'm going to definitely have to check out some of the books. I think Amanda had suggested, what was it? I've got her post here somewhere. Oh yeah. She said she was in love with the cozy mystery books, so she's been binging on those, and she's currently working on the Bless Your Witch series by Amy Boyles. So I'm going to have to go and check that out. And she said she loved my Portage cardigan as well, that she's planning her own. So that's really exciting too. Oh, right, okay, so let's have a look. What have we got to discuss next? Ooh, sorry, that's just Jonah scratching an itch. Oh dear. I know my mum has said when she watches the podcast, her little dog gets really excited when he hears Jonah's collar if Jonah's walking around, so I'm sure he's just noticed Jonah's collar getting shaken quite a lot then. I wonder if other people's dogs do that as well. Oh gosh. Anyway, moving on. We'll actually get onto some knitting content now. But I'm going to have a bit of my tea. Oh, I do need to tell you about this tea actually. I got gifted this lovely, lovely parcel of things from my friend Lydia. Yeah, I sort of know her from Flock in Bristol and just our general meetups that we've had in the Bristol sort of area. And she gifted me, part of the parcel were 2 little packets of Bird and Blend tea. And I've never tried Bird and Blend before, so I was really, really excited. And the one which I think is my favourite, she gave me 2. One was a green tea, I think, which was something to do with apple, which is really, really nice. But my favourite is this one, which is the gingerbread chai, and I'm obsessed with it. It's just gorgeous. I think is it a rooibos tea? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but after trying these teas, I completely understand why Hannah of the Corner of Craft, which is another British podcaster you should definitely go check out. She is obsessed with Bird and Blend tea, and I now understand why, and I can see myself getting a bit of an obsession with them. So I'm going to have to rewatch some of her podcasts to check which her favourites were. I'm definitely going to have to get some more of this gingerbread chai because it's absolutely amazing. Right, so the first thing I was going to talk about is we've got a couple of FOs, which is really exciting. The first one is a pair of socks, which is a design of mine, which is now available on Ravelry, and they are the In Bloom socks. So here they are. I'll try and show you both at once. So as you can see, the little lace pattern on the front goes up each side of the sock. I'll try and give you a bit of a close-up of that, if it wants to focus. There you go. So it's a really, really simple lace repeat, really easily memorisable. I found the sample really, really fun to knit up just because most of what you're knitting is stockinette, but then you've got that little bit of interest just on the lace as you go around. And then there's also a similar or a similarly simple lace pattern on the back of the sock as well, just to keep it interesting. I quite like a little bit of detail on the back of the sock, so that's quite fun. And yeah, the pattern's now available on Ravelry, The yarn that I used is Mr. B's yarn in one of their Valentine's Day colourways that they came out with in February, and this one is Mr. Right. So I don't know if this is still in their shop or if they all sold out, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I just thought it was the perfect colour for spring. I thought these make a really lovely pair of spring socks. So yeah, these are the In Bloom socks, and I am showing these on a new acquisition as well, actually, which I'll just mention. This was a present from my mum, these sock blockers, and I can't remember the name of the shop. I'm not sure if she told me. She said it was an Etsy shop, I think, that was based in Ukraine, and they are just so pretty. I love how dark this wood is. I'm not sure if it's showing up how dark it is. Oh yeah, that's a bit truer to the colour. But yes, I think all of the designs that they do have different shapes of cutouts and different sort of themes. And the one my mum picked is definitely the one I would have picked, with a little squirrel and an acorn, an oak leaf, and I think this is a little mushroom. But I absolutely love them. And they fit these socks perfectly, so that is amazing. I'll just pop these back on. So yeah, In Bloom socks, done. So that means I've just got one current design that I'm knitting up, and that's my shawl design. I can't remember if I gave it a name. Hopefully I wrote it down, if I did. Can't remember, but that's been on the back burner for a while whilst I got this pattern sorted, and whilst I got a couple of other things sort of knitted up, because I just didn't have the brain space for it, which is not good. But I do work full time, and I try and fit this, fit designing and stuff into sort of as a bit of a hobby, really. Or just into my spare time, and so I have to make sure I've got time for relaxing knits which don't use up my brain power, as well as some more engaging knits which tend to be designs for me. So yeah, I will be shortly back onto the shawl design. Excuse me, I think I need a sip of tea. Right, so that's the first FO. Really pleased with them. Might have to knit another pair at some point. Okay, and I've got one more FO, which might be a bit of a surprise, I think. Or it might not be, I don't know. You might not be surprised at all. But this is quite a big FO, and I am so excited about it. It hasn't been blocked yet, so bear that in mind when you look at it, because I only finished it last night. So here is my Coiffure sweater, which is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter, and I finished it! I believe last time I spoke to you, I was still on the yoke, I think, only up to here. And since then I've done the body and both sleeves, and I am so excited to wear this. At the moment, if I hold it up against me, it is quite short. So I have not woven in this end yet, because I'm thinking I'm going to block it first and see how much this yarn sort of stretches down and relaxes, because there are these big texture sections and colour work, so I'm not sure how the yarn is going to behave once it's been soaked and sort of blocked. So ideally I want it to grow by about an inch, I think. Let me just see. I did try it on, and it was quite a bit shorter than I wanted, so I want it to be at least this much longer. So if that doesn't happen with blocking, all I'm going to do is rip back the ribbing and do another textured section, because I believe the pattern says that you can just repeat textured sections to create the length that you want. So I will just do another textured section and then do the ribbing, and then that would make it the length I wanted. The sleeves though, I was very happy with the length on the sleeves. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. Oh yes, the yarn. I didn't tell you what yarn this is. This is John Arbon, which I bought at Unravel. So I think that's probably, yeah, that's really good actually. I bought and used the yarn within about a month. Just over a month. It's taken me to knit this. And I just love it. It's John Arbon, and it is their Exmoor Zwarbles. I don't know how you say Zwarbles. Oh, sorry. But that's how I'm saying it. So if anyone does know and wants to correct me, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, it's undyed yarn, and I thought it was really reasonably priced. I believe it, at the time, it was £9 a skein for 100 grams. And I've still got quite a bit left of this. I might have enough to make a hat. I'm thinking maybe a colour matching, or not matching colourwork hat, but a colourwork hat might look really nice in these yarns too. But yeah, I believe the lighter colour is 70% Exmoor. Was it Exmoor BFL? And 30% Zwarbles. And I think the darkest colour is 100% Zwarbles. So it is the Zwarbles breed that sort of is the dark colour and sort of adds a bit of depth to this one as well. I'll see if I can just show you without dipping it in my tea. This was just so much fun to knit, and this is my first real all over colourwork. It's the most colourwork intensive project I've ever knit. Ooh. And I really love how the sleeves fit as well. So next time I will wear this on the podcast if it's not too hot, once I've blocked it. But I'm waiting till I finish filming this to block it, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to show it to you. So yeah, I'm really excited to wear this. And the yarn is just so squishy. It is not the softest yarn. So if you're really sensitive, it is lighter, slightly rustic, and quite hairy. See if I can show you. Yeah, so it's got a little bit of a halo to it. But for me, it doesn't irritate me at all. It's not itchy, it's just slightly more rustic and woolly feeling. It is still really soft actually, but you can notice a difference between the Zwarbles and the Exmoor. So, oh, I just love looking at this on the camera. Yeah, so I was sort of unofficially knitting this in some sort of knit along with my friend Hikari, who is Hikari Handmade on Instagram, and she creates gorgeous project bags, and I think she knits quite a lot of colourwork sweaters, colourwork yokes, and they're really beautiful. And it turned out we sort of started knitting this at the same time, and we sort of had this unofficial knit along going on, and updating each other on our progress, which was really lovely and really fun. Because whenever I saw Hikari's sweater, I was just really, really spurred on and motivated to carry on knitting mine. So that was really, really fun, and I think we're definitely going to have to do that again at some point. I think I need to think of another cowl we can have for the podcast. But I don't know what I'm going to be making next. I need to get a couple of whips finished, and I need to focus on my shawl design. So we'll have to see. Anyway, those are the FOs. And I was going to show you a couple of things I've been working on, but I've not made that much progress on anything else because all of my knitting time has basically gone onto the sweater because I was just obsessed with it. Oh, I did completely forget to tell you about the t-shirt I'm wearing. This was a birthday present. Let me just stand up and show you. So this was a present from Jimmy's dad, who lives in New Zealand. He lives in Wellington, and we've been over a couple of times before to visit. We absolutely love New Zealand. In particular, Wellington. We just fell in love with it. And for my birthday, he went to my favourite yarn store, which is Holland Road Yarn Co. And he picked up this t-shirt, which says, "This is what a knitter looks like." And I think they do them in all sorts of different colours. And I think it's sort of to... I'll sit down again. You can see it now. Sort of to... what's the word? Sort of like emphasise that anyone can be a knitter, no matter what they look like, regardless of gender, age, race, yeah, anything. So, yeah, everyone should have one of these. Or everyone who's a knitter should have one of these. I don't know if they do crochet ones. Not sure. I didn't look. But yeah, this is, I was just so excited when I opened the parcel and saw that I had a t-shirt from Holland Road Yarn Company. I was so excited. And it's in my favourite colour as well. One of my favourite colours. I think this is the colour I would have picked. So I was really excited about that too. Yay. Right. Little tangent over. And onto a couple of whips. I've got a couple of acquisitions maybe mixed in. No, I have got a couple of acquisitions mixed in, but we'll just go through the pile. Yeah, be fun. Okay, so first thing I was going to show you is actually living in an acquisition, and my lovely friend Kate, who is What Kate Knit on Instagram. She was so lovely and got me this really, really, really amazing and awesome project bag, which is socks for Dobby. And there's a little Dobby stitched on. It's just so, so adorable. I love it so much. I don't know how she parted with it and managed to give it to me. She was so generous. I believe the shop, or the lady that makes these, her shop on Etsy is called Not For Profit. I think there's a label on the inside. Oh, it says on QB's Not For Profit. Let me just show you. Hang on, I'm just fighting with the cable. But I will link to that shop in the show notes. Yeah, I think she makes these bags, and I think all the profits go to charity, which is so kind and generous. So I absolutely love this bag as well. It's got this little loop on the inside, and this had a couple of progress keepers on it, which are now, of course, both in use. And yeah, it's so sweet. I love it. So I think this always needs to have a pair of socks for Dobby in it. Right, so living in here are the pair of vanilla socks that I'm making. Here was the finished one. And these are not for me, these are going to be a gift for someone, for either probably for Christmas, I think, or a birthday. So yeah, I've decided I'm just going to try and make some vanilla socks. I have some on the go at all times. And then I can just give them as gifts. Maybe when Christmas comes around I might have some gifts ready. But considering it's nearly the end of March and I've managed 1 and a bit socks, I don't know how well that's going to go. So I need to get a move on with that. This is how far I've got on the second sock. I mainly wanted to show you the project bag because I've not made very much progress on this. But this was one of the little progress keepers that was in the bag. Little witch's hat. So yeah, the yarn is Laughing Yaffle, which I think is a Bristol-based dyer. And I think the colourway is Summer Lawns. And the contrast that I'm using is Fine Fish yarns. Oh, hang on, that's gone a bit messy. And this is Grimoire. I think this is on the sparkle base. But this was left over from my Midwinter Mist shawl. So, using up the scraps. Right, so there's not really much more to talk about with vanilla socks. They are happening slowly. That's it. So the other thing I wanted to show you, something I've been working on quite a lot as just a really mindless knit, well, not knit, a really mindless project that I'm just go to when I've just not got the energy to think about what I'm doing, is my crocheted granny stripe blanket. And I sort of decided to make a magic ball just because I find it easier to think about what colour's going next. With a few at once, I sort of group them together. I'm like, right, I want this lot of colours next because I'm sort of fading my granny stripe a little bit. So the one which I'm currently adding is L'Anime. And I think using the magic ball as well makes sure that every little scrap gets used up. But yeah, this is L'Anime in, what's the colourway? I think it's Life Aquatic. And I think this was left over from my Salcombe shawl, which I knit last year. So yeah, and it's quite fun because I can't remember what other colours I put into this ball. So it'll be a nice surprise when I get to a colour change. So I can't remember exactly where this was, where I was up to the last time I showed this, but I've stuck in a progress keeper approximately where I think it was. And this was one of the progress keepers that came in my Socks for Dobby bag. It's a little turtle. You see him? So I thought he can just live on here and sort of mark where I'm up to. So here is the granny stripe blanket so far. And I was a crazy person and decided I wanted it to be as wide as our king size bed. So that's UK king size, which I think is an American queen size, but I'm not too sure. So this is about half of the width. So each row takes me about a year. Oh gosh, nearly lost the crochet hook. I think it's wider than my arm span, so yeah, I can't fully hold it up, but here we go. So I think it's probably about a quarter of the way done. I'm not sure. It's just so wide. And I did not think about how annoyed I would be at having such long rows when I started it. Because I was like, yeah, I just want it to be as wide as our bed. So that's what I did. But yeah, Jonah loves to try and lie on it whilst I'm working on it, which is not ideal because then it's going to end up even more covered in dog hair than things usually do. But yeah, I quite like how it's going now. You can sort of see the first part I was just randomly adding colours and I was only doing one line of colour. And then I sort of switched to doing 2 rows per colour. I think around here-ish, yeah. And I much prefer the look of that. So if I've got enough of a colour, then I'm trying to do 2 rows of it. So yeah, I'm sort of fading through the blues at the moment. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'll show you this side. So it's got the colour I'm currently adding. Yeah, I really love the way these look together, even though these two aren't that similar. Yeah, I don't know what all of these were. This purpley one, I think, oh, maybe this was where I was up to. This one is Vullenvine in Dirty on Purpose. This one is some sort of alpaca yarn. I think it was a commercial one and I can't remember, but I really liked it. And I think I knit some baby things out of it at some point years ago. So that is Deep Stash. This one I think was a mini. Yeah, that was a mini. I think it was a Stranded Dye Works mini that I got from Becky of the Bird Box podcast. And this one is also Stranded Dye Works, but this was one which I bought myself. Oh, have I missed one? No, I haven't. And that was Sugar Plum, I think. Yeah, I think that was Sugar Plum. You see it's got these pops of pink. I really like seeing how these crochet up as well as knit up. Ooh, hang on. And then I've got a few different pixie yarns here. So they're sort of fading from light to dark. I think I used those in my Snow Day cowl, which I knit last year, which is one of Becky's patterns. So that's Bexy Norms on Instagram. And I think she might be Bexy. Is she? I can't remember her name on Ravelry. I'll try and link to her, so then you can find it, what I'm talking about. And then this blue, which is more of a tonal, is Leon Alexander yarns in Winter Night. And then we're on to the Labiana May. Have I missed one out? I have missed one out. There is one which only covered part of a row, and that's this lighter turquoisey blue, and that's Nora George yarns in the Fleur Delacour colourway, which is one of the first hand-dyed yarns I ever got. And I knit my pavement sweater out of that. So, I'm going to try and put this away without unravelling the crochet. Right, I'm just going to shove it over here. Tidy up later. That's how it works. Right. Okay, there's one more whip I want to show you, which is a new cast on as of this morning. But it's something I've been planning for a couple of weeks, so it's okay. And it's not for me, it's a gift. So I don't think you watch this, Hayley, but if you do, stop watching now, because you might ruin a surprise. So my new cast on is living in this gorgeous project bag, which I got from my friend Jan. She gifted this to me. I think I showed it on the last podcast when I met her at Unravel Festival. And that was back in February. I think it was towards the end of February. And she is called The Faithful Sheep, I believe, on Instagram. And she will shortly be opening an Etsy shop. Let me just double check I got that name right. Yes, she's the Faithful Sheep 16, but I will link to her. I don't think she's opened her shop yet, but when she does, I will let you know. But yeah, it's just gorgeous. It's so lovely, and I thought it was perfect for the project, which is now living in here. So I am knitting, or I've just cast on this morning, a flax sweater, which is going to be for a little girl who's turning 2 in April. And this is all I've done so far, because I literally just cast it on this morning. I swatched a little bit and then undid the swatch, as I normally do. And yeah, then did the cast on. And I think I'm only on like the second row of knitting. But I decided to use DPNs because it's such a small circumference, and I'll find that easier, I think, than doing magic loop. So yeah. And this little progress keeper, which I stuck on here, this cute little llama, was part of my gift package from Lydia. And it's from Front Pocket Studio, who I believe is based in the UK. And I had not heard of them, and now I have. And I've got one of their progress keepers, so I'm really excited about that. I think it's glittery and everything. Yeah, it's glittery and everything. Focus on the llama, not me. Go on. No, you want to. Please. There we go. It's so glittery. So cute. Yeah. I absolutely love it, and I thought, for such a fun knit for a toddler, I should definitely have a colourful, glittery progress keeper on there. So, the yarn I'm using is, I'm going to be doing a striped version of a flax sweater. So I've got 3 different colours of DK yarn, and they are, here's the label. It's Erica Knight for John Lewis. Here's the label. It's DK yarn. It's 100% wool. There you go. And they come in 50-gram balls, I believe. So I've got 2, the main colour I'm using, I've got 2 of the stone colour, which is this sort of grey, light grey taupey neutral colour. So that's the main colour I'm doing. And then I picked some really pretty summery ice creamy colours, I think. I picked Citrine, which is this gorgeous lemon yellow. It's coming up a bit colder on the screen, I think, than it actually is. I have to see what it looks like when I edit this. And then the other one I got was Blossom. It's gorgeous. It's like a gorgeous strawberry pink. So I thought lemon and strawberry striping together with this, I thought would be really, really cool. Really summery and fun for a toddler, or for anyone. I would probably wear these colours. I don't know actually. I don't think I would. But that's okay because it's not for me. So yeah. I'm going to be striping, and I think I'm going to just stick with the main colour for the yoke, and then I'll move into the striping for the body and the sleeves. I haven't decided how thick the stripes are going to be yet. I'm edging towards fairly thin stripes, I think. But yeah, I haven't decided whether to stripe it like this or whether to stripe it like this, because I quite like the sort of lemon yellow and the pink together next to each other. So I don't know. Not sure. Maybe I should have done a swatch. Yeah. We'll wing it. So yeah, I'm just using DPNs for that. And then when it gets big enough, I'll switch it onto some circulars, which I've got lying around somewhere. So yeah, that's all I've done so far. Not much to show, but because it's DK and it's a toddler's sweater, hopefully I'll make quick progress on that. Pop these back in here. There we go. Lovely. So that's all of my whips, and now I've got a different segment of the podcast to talk to you about. We have a spinning segment. I think last episode was probably, I think that was the first spinning. Was that the first one? No, it's not even really new now, is it? I've had a spinning bit for a while, or a couple of episodes. Sorry, I'm rambling. I will stop. I'll stop myself. So, for my birthday, I readjust my legs. I was so lucky, and I received a spinning wheel, which I had specifically picked the one I wanted, and was hoping Jimmy would get that for me for my birthday, and I was lucky enough to receive it. So I have got the Ashford Kiwi 3, which I liked because the treadles fold up to make it easy to store away if I want to pack it away into a corner. But that's never going to happen because it's constantly in use. So yes, I am obsessed with it. I love it so much. I'm hopefully going to have included some footage of me spinning and having a go at the beginning of the episode. So hopefully you'll have seen a bit of that. If not, I'll include some more at the end because I think I filmed quite a lot of me spinning. So yes, I have now got my first hand spun. I did enjoy spinning with the drop spindles. I've got a Turkish spindle and a normal drop spindle, more traditional shaped one, I think. And but I did find that it was hurting my shoulders having my arms high up, and I just didn't feel like I was making very much progress. I did enjoy it, but I did want a bit more progress, and I did find it slightly annoying to have to then, after you've spun the yarn, to then have to wind it on. Whereas with the spinning wheel, you just get to do the drafting and it winds on for you. So I do really enjoy that, and I like the rhythm. I find I really get into the rhythm of spinning with the wheel. Excuse me. And I find it so meditative and relaxing. So it's just really, really lovely to sometimes have silence or listen to music or a podcast, or watch a knitting podcast whilst I'm spinning. And yeah, I'm really, really, really loving it. So hopefully you guys will love seeing the spinning and seeing what I've made. I did, because this was my first time ever using a spinning wheel, I did purchase a Craftsy class, although it's no longer called Craftsy. I think it's now called My Blueprint. but I bought the beginner's spinning class. I've forgotten the exact name of it, but it's by Amy King, I think. And that literally walked you through from the beginning, the different parts of the wheel, different types of fibre, literally how to start spinning on the wheel, and different types of drafting, different types of plying. It's basically like the dummy's guide to spinning on a wheel, which was exactly what I needed. So it's great. The videos were really, really helpful, and that got me going. So I watched quite a bit of her sort of instructions and had a go along whilst watching, and now I'm able to do it on my own. Hi! So today I've decided I'm going to start a new spin. I've just finished soaking and winding. Basically, my other spin is currently drying, so I've decided to start something new. The other one was the Cat and Sparrow. What's it called? It was a BFL, and I think it was called After the Storm, that colourway. So I wanted to do something a bit lighter in colour today, and the one I picked is one of the ones I got from Pixie Yarn, and she's just started dyeing fibre. And oh, this is the one that I'm gonna spin up, and it's 100% merino. Here's her label there, Pixie Yarns, and it's the Three Friends colourway. So let's have a go. Okay, so you okay, Bubba? You alright? You can just see his tail. Right, so the first thing I decided to spin was a little mini floof, fibre floof. It's definitely the official word. Which I got from Pixie Yarn with I made an order since I last spoke to you and bought a couple of braids of fibre from Pixie Yarn, which I'll show you in a little bit. But she included, because she knows I'm a new spinner and I've not spun with merino before, she included just a little mini of her amethyst leaves colourway, I believe it's called, for me to just have a little practice before I break into the big braids, which was so kind and lovely. So thank you so much. It was really, really lovely of you, if you're watching this. And this was my first attempt at spinning on the wheel. So I'm kind of proud of it, but some parts I'm obviously not proud of. But I learned a lot from this, and the spinning I've done after this has, I think, drastically improved. So, like some bits of it I'm quite proud of. I absolutely love. Stop focusing on me. Focus on the yarn. I've kept it as a single ply because I think it's only 9 grams, so I'll have more yardage out of it being a single ply. So yeah, here we go. I absolutely love this colourway though. This was one which I was thinking of purchasing, and I'll definitely go back and purchase at some point in the future. Absolutely love it. So yeah, I definitely need to get a 100 grams of this, or maybe more, depending on what it is I plan to make with it. So I was just going to make like a little ornament or little heart or something out of this, but I just wanted to show you it skeined up first on the podcast. So these green bits are just some leftover yarn I've used to tie it together. So just ignore those. Pretend they're not there. You're still looking at me. There you go. I love it. I still love it, even though it's not perfect. It's very far from perfect. I still made it into something that's usable. So there we go. So there's one other bit of spinning which I've managed to finish, and I think I did post this on Instagram yesterday. I'll just have a sip of tea. Oh, it's a lot of talking. So yes, the other thing I finished spinning was the braid of fibre, which was the first fibre I ever bought, and it was from Cat and Sparrow when she had a little stall at the first flock event in Bristol. And if you're interested in going to flock, the next one is the 1st of June, I believe. But if you check out Mr. B's Yarn on Instagram, or Claire, who is Bird Street UK, you can find all of the information on there. But I'll probably talk about it again nearer the time, because I love it. It was so much fun. But anyway, tangents. I'm just so excited to chat with you all today. I just keep going off on tangents and getting a bit too excited. I'll try and tone it down. Okay, so Cat and Sparrow fibre. I got the BFL, and the colourway is After the Storm. I originally started spinning this on the Turkish spindle, but then I thought I should carry it on the wheel if I want to get it done quicker. And it'll be easier to ply it if it's on bobbins as well. So I wound what I had what I'd already spun from the Turkish spindle onto the bobbins, and then I carried on spinning using the wheel. So I'm not sure if that's what you're supposed to do, but it's what I did. And it's turned out all right, I think. So it's, from my calculations, I think it's turned out at a chunky weight on average. There are a lot of sections which are thicker and thinner, but I am really pleased with it. So I have plied it 2 plies. It's a 2-ply. I am not down with the spinning lingo, but yeah, I've turned it into a 2-ply, and I believe I've got about 130 meters. So I think I've got enough to do, what was the pattern that I wanted to do? The Bandana Cowl by Pearl Soho, because that uses chunky or bulky yarn, and I don't think you need very much for that. So it's just like a little bandana cowl, which is a very simple stockinette pattern. So I thought that would be quite good for hand spun. And looking through the projects on Ravelry, I think quite a few people have used hand spun for that pattern. So I thought that would be quite good, because I'd like my hand spun to turn into something. That's Jonah bored of me talking, sorry. What's wrong? We'll go outside soon. I know, it's turned into quite a long episode, hasn't it? I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this. I really love the sections, like this one, where it's sort of barber poling. And I know this is also far from perfect, but I think the whole point of hand spun is that it's not perfect. And you embrace the imperfections. That's what I'm telling myself at the moment anyway. So, look at that. I really love this, the way it's turned out. It looks so different plied to how it did spun. Because obviously this is my first big, proper spin. I wasn't aware of the different types of plying and the different ways to spin fibre to get different effects with the colours once it's plied. But I really love how it's turned out. I think sometimes it's nice to just not over plan and just enjoy the journey. Enjoy the spinning journey. So, I just love it. I'm really pleased with it. I am really happy with this, so I'm really looking forward to casting on the bandana cowl. Hopefully I'll cast that on by next time the podcast. So those are the things I have spun. Currently on the wheel. I'll try and include a picture of it because I'm leaving it on the wheel. Amy Florence of Stranded says she doesn't like to take the bobbin she's currently spinning off the wheel. So I'm following that sort of principle because she knows stuff about stuff. Even though she says she doesn't know stuff about stuff, she knows stuff about stuff. So I'm copying her and leaving the bobbin that I'm currently spinning on the wheel. And I'm also going to be leaving it on the bobbin for 24 hours before doing anything with it. Because that's what she says too. So I'm getting all my spinning advice from watching other podcasters. So it's quite fun. But it's great how we can all learn from each other. I really love that. So I'm not bringing that off the wheel, but what I'm currently spinning is Pixie Yarns fibre. And she's only recently started dyeing fibre, and I was so excited because I love her yarns. I love her colourways. So I just couldn't resist. Here is her label. Pixie Yarn. And it's 100% merino wool. and it's the Three Friends colourway, which I'm currently spinning up. And I'm loving the way it's working up on the wheel. This is the braid of fibre. Just look at those colours. I just love it. I don't know what this spin is going to turn into yet, but I'm trying to consciously make a thinner, more consistent yarn. So I'm aiming for hopefully maybe a DK weight once it's plied. DK or Aran, hopefully. I'm trying to do it a thinner yarn, and I'm going to 2-ply it, I think. Because I quite enjoyed plying the other yarn. And I think I might be able to do a bit more with it then. Unless I decide to keep it as a single ply and use it in a shawl, but I don't know. Yeah, I just love it. It's so beautiful. Oh gosh. So I think now I'm sort of working my way into acquisitions. So I've got another thing of fibre to show you, which was also from Pixie Yarn. And this one is the Chickabiddy colourway. Just look at it. This is a colourway which she dyes, well, I think both of these colourways she dyes on yarn as well as fibre. And the yarn version of this I have wanted for so long. So when I saw she had it on fibre, I was like, yep. That's going in my cart. I couldn't resist. It's just beautiful. I love it. So yeah, fibre stash is growing. Yay! Okay, so I've got a couple of other acquisitions. I'll try and just show them in the order they were received or purchased. Excuse me. So I've been meaning to purchase some of Fruitful Fusion yarn for the longest time, and I finally caved and bought a couple of skeins, one of which was a gift for someone, so I can't show that, but the one I did purchase for myself was it's just so pretty. Look at those pink speckles on the blue. I love it. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh yeah, and here's the colourway name. I think it's Emirem. I think that's right. But it's on a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, fingering weight base. So perfect for socks or a shawl, or anything it decides to become. Yeah, some softer areas as well. Beautiful. I just love it. Ishrat makes the perfect colours. She seems to do a lot of pinks and blues and purples, which are right down my alley. I absolutely love them. And she was so kind and included an extra skein, which is either for the podcast. She said it's either for a giveaway or a prize, or I could keep it myself. I'm going to try and be good and keep it for the podcast. But we will see. Because it's just so beautiful. Look at these purples. These speckles here. It's just stunning. I'm not sure which colourway this is. I don't think it said it on it, but she has so many beautiful colourways in her shop. You should definitely go have a look. And I believe she's going to be vending at Yarningham later this year. So I'm so excited to get some more of her yarn there and to meet her in person. So I thought the only reason I was maybe going to keep this was because I thought these two went really well together, like a shawl. But I'm going to try and be good and keep it for a prize for the podcast. So yeah, so that was my purchase. Oh, I did want to show you part of my little gift box from Lydia. She made me this cute little thing. Look at his tiny ears. Aren't they so adorable? So she crocheted this for me. I'm not sure what the pattern is, but her yarn, the yarn she's used is one of her own colourways. Her Etsy shop is called The Right Yarn, as in WRIGHT. I'll link it below. And this is her Mirkwood colourway. And it's so pretty. I absolutely love how it's crocheted up. Look at those colours. It's just perfect. I love it. So, he's just so cute. He is guarding my mini skeins. Just over in the corner. That's where he lives now. He's so adorable. I just had to show you him. And next we have, yes, from New Zealand, Jimmy's dad, as well as sending me this t-shirt, also sent me a ball of Outlaw yarn. And I think I bought some of this for my mum when I was over in New Zealand. And it's just so soft. So it's Outlaw yarn, and it's Bohemia worsted. And it is 45% Polworth, 45% alpaca, and 10% possum. So I thought this might make a really, really gorgeous hat. It's coming up, I think, a bit bluer on the screen. It's like this really gorgeous sea green teal colour. I love it. It's just so soft. I'm not sure if this is the name of the colourway, but it says East Lake on here. That might be the colourway name. But I know this is New Zealand yarn. Yeah. And Outlaw Yarn and Holland Road Yarn Co. Both got websites, which I will link to below. I think Holland Road may ship internationally. I'll have to double check. I hope they do, because I might need to order some stuff from them at some point. I was just so impressed that he actually went to the shop and got things for me. It's so lovely. Didn't expect that at all. And I have one more acquisition, which was a present from my sister for my birthday. And it's a new to me dyer. My sister is kind of new to crochet. She's got a granny stripe blanket on the go, and I think she's crocheted some headbands or something. She's definitely crocheted a couple of things before, and she is sort of getting into the indie dyers for her granny stripe crocheted blanket. And so I think I got her some mini skeins last year for Christmas, and because she really liked my granny stripe with all the different colours and speckled yarns and things, so I got her some mini skeins. And she has gone on to Etsy and found Woolly Mama Yarns, who I hadn't heard of, and is based in the UK, and I'm really, really excited that I found another UK indie dyer. And look at these colours! How bright and summery are these? And I believe this colourway is called Indian Summer, and it's a 4-ply fingering, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And it's so soft. It smells really nice too. Oh my goodness. This will make a beautiful pair of socks, I think. I just love it. I just love staring at it. So yeah, that's everything that I had to show you, I think. Oh no, it's not. It's not. There's something I forgot to show you last time. Wendy's gonna kill me if I forget. No, she's not. My lovely friend Wendy has gifted me this gorgeous, this little heart, this knitted heart made out of polymer clay. And it's just such a gorgeous pin badge. I don't know if you can see it's sparkly as well, but she's made quite a lot of these. And I think she's going to be opening an Etsy shop for them soon. And I had to pick the mustard one. It's just so beautiful. And it's so clever to make it look knitted as well. It's so cool. So yeah, I just had to show you that. And I've added it onto the bag that's got the pins. I did get a couple of new ones from Lydia as well. This Party Like a Platypus. And this little owl that's reading. So cute. Yeah. But yeah, I will link to Wendy's Instagram because I don't know what the name of her shop is going to be. So there you go. Oh, I love it. Right. That's everything. So I'm really sorry if this has been a super long episode and I've been quite rambly, but I can't really change who I am, so you're stuck with me. If you kept watching this long, then congratulations. Well done. I hope you all have a lovely couple of knitty weeks till I speak to you again soon. And yeah, I hope you're also enjoying this lovely spring weather. Or if you're in the southern hemisphere, is it starting to be autumn? Is it still summer, or is it now winding down and cooling down towards autumn? Let me know. Anyway, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a lovely, lovely time and getting lots of crafting done. Speak to you again soon. Bye.